Carol Dodsley, better known as the How To Girl, and welcome to this week's How To Go TV show. I've got a really special guest coming today, and it's a very topical subject as well, all about video. And we all know that if you really want to succeed at the moment and you're using online marketing, you have to put some video into it. People want to engage. They don't want to just see a logo. They want to see you. They want to see experiences. They want to see your products, your services. They want to see the customers that you work with, and they don't want to see it all in writing. They want to see real people, because people buy from people. People engage with people. You build relationships with people. So I'm so excited to have my guest on today, who is Jules Watkins. And Jules Watkins is a UK guy, which is great, because I just love talking to other people in the UK. Obviously, I also love talking to the people across the world, but it's really great when you find a UK expert on something, especially related to online marketing. And Jules is actually a former TV producer and director, and he's made shows including The Biggest Loser, Pimp My Ride, The Business Inspector, and he now makes videos for brands and entrepreneurs. But his main focus is teaching people just like you how to make your own affordable videos to promote your products and your services using TV techniques that he's learned over 10 years as a pro, but also using everyday equipment, the iPhone, and of course also the Android phone. So using your phone, which is something that you have with you every single day, wherever you are. So you can now just snap videos, create videos, do so many things. And Jules is going to tell you all about that. He's also created a product called iPhone Video Hero, which David Siteman Garland, who was my very first guest when we launched the show on the 4th of July, is absolutely wowed by. And I must say, I myself am absolutely wowed by it as well, because I've also got the program, and Jules has just got a phenomenal amount of skill, experience and knowledge, not only in how you use this to create fantastic videos, but also extra bits you can add, apps you can add, and techniques, lighting, and also techniques about what you can video, which is something, it's not just about pressing buttons that Jules teaches. Jules is just a gem. He's given me already so many hints and tips and things that I can do both on the TV show and in my videos, and he's just a phenomenally giving guy too, and really good fun. We have going to have such a laugh on this interview. I've already spoken to Jules before, and we just find things so much fun, which is what business is all about. So this is going to be a fun interview, a very informative and educational interview, as well as giving you top tips that you can take away and increase engagement and relationships for your business. So I'm not going to tell you any more, because otherwise I'll have told all of Jules's story and all of his secrets, and I want him to tell his secrets. So let's go over and say hello to Jules. So welcome to the show, Jules. It is so great to have you here.
Thanks very much, Carol, for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
And I've just obviously given a slight introduction about you, and you started in TV, and you now help other people and you teach other people how to actually create their own videos using, as one of the main things, the iPhone. Why? A lot of people would probably say, he had such a great job on TV. What's he doing coming out of that?
Very good question. Yeah, I do get asked that all the time, really. Well, the thing is that I think, like anything in life, you need to kind of progress as well. And so I got this real bug that I wanted to work in TV, and I managed to break into it and work my way up to being a producer and a director, which was great. And when you get there, it's like you're in it and it's fantastic. But then you start thinking a little bit further down the road, and I started looking at the internet and seeing people getting great success on the internet and producing their own content and being essentially their own broadcaster, just like you're doing right now. And I started thinking, wouldn't that be great to actually own some of that? Because all the shows that I've made for BBC and MTV, I don't own any of it. That's not my content. So people are making really masses of money off that content, but I have no part in it. So I started thinking, well, maybe I could join in with you guys and create my own content, my own brand, and basically own that. And that would help me going forward. Also, working in TV, it sounds great, but trust me, the hours are insane. For about 10 years, I could never plan. I could never tell anybody what I was doing on a Wednesday evening. I couldn't plan anything because when you're doing TV, you're kind of at the mercy of the people that you're filming and who you're following. And if they have a big crisis, they get a burst water pipe up in Scotland and you're filming their house show, you've got to be up there doing it and the weekend and so when you're a bit younger, it's all really cool, but you go through it and you start thinking ahead and how to leverage things, and you see video exploding on the internet. So combination of those factors, and that's how I'm here right now.
So, when you first came out of TV, I'm assuming the iPhone or the iPhone 4 wasn't actually around, was it? It was the iPhone 3, or was it already around? Is it only really, really shortly that you've been away from
Well, that's
TV?
an interesting question. What for me, what happened is I'll take it right back. I while I was still working in TV, I spotted a American
Can I
marketer.
just stop you one sec? If you can hear some funny noises, I've got two puppies on the floor here, and they're playing quite. So if you hear funny
Oh,
growly noises, it's not my tummy; it's the puppies.
growly noises are absolutely cool with me. Um, if you get my drift. So where was I? Oh, yes. No, here's an interesting thing, right? I was working my butt off in TV, and I started looking around on the internet, and I saw this American marketer, and he was using a flip camera. Now, the flip camera was a very, very popular camera, and I landed on his site, and he was filming himself going to the dentist on his flip camera, and I couldn't figure out what was this for. And at the end of it, he actually had a link to Amazon selling the camera. So what he was doing is enticing you into his life, showing you how portable this camera was, and making a commission off Amazon. And I'd never even heard of the flip camera. And being here in the UK, it wasn't quite as well known. So that was the very first thing I did. Was I thought, right, I want a blog. What shall I do? And I just randomly kind of picked on, let's do a video just about the flip camera, only about the flip camera, very, very niche. Try and get some good dominate keywords over here in the UK. And I did that, and I started using the flip, creating content. It's still up there right now. And I actually, when I got my first sale of a flip camera, made me £4.95 commission. That was a major deal for me because I realized that if I were to blog, people would actually start to buy things. And in the best year of that blog, I sold on Amazon £20,000 worth of equipment
Wow.
off a blog just about a flip because people were buying the accessories, and then with Amazon the affiliate program, if they go through and buy other things like they might go and try and buy a flip camera, but they end up buying a shower cap, and somebody bought a toilet seat once off my affiliate link, and you still get the commission, right? So I got into the flip stuff, and I went really into the pocket cameras, the flip, the Kodak. I even created a product in that space as well. But then what happened is, as you rightly said, the iPhone came out, and the new the iPhone 4 and now the 4S, and there's a big shift happened. And one day I woke up and somebody emailed me saying, "Do you know that Flip Video no longer exists? It's not being made. The company who bought Flip killed it." And then recently, amazingly, Kodak have been struggling, and they've said they're not going to make any more pocket cameras at all. And a lot of marketers and entrepreneurs have been using the Kodak ZI8, very good camera.
I've got that.
You've got one, and it's still a good camera, but they're not supporting that. And it's partly because of this huge push towards smartphones. Everybody owns one. They shoot amazing video. They've got many more controls, which we can talk about. And so I've been moving with the market, so to speak. And I've always used Apple and loved Apple stuff, and I've always loved my iPhone. So for me, it was sort of a natural thing to do, really.
Yeah, and it's like you say, I think you talking there, it's also about keeping up with the trends and staying current, because there's a lot of people out there who, they leave a corporate position or any other employment to set themselves up, and they start with something that is hot, but they forget to keep up with the trends. So I think it's really great because people who now, had the flip and it's gone, or they've used it too much and it's broken, they need the next thing. So if you only had, there are still some people, I still use my ZI8. It's not actually that old, but So it's having that variety, and especially keeping up to date. I mean, I've got an iPhone. You know,
Nice.
not everybody does,
Sure.
but it's getting more and more, isn't it, that people are getting. Both of my sons have got the latest iPhone. So, so when you talk about, I mean, because you've got the iPhone video program, the iPhone Video Hero,
Yes, that's it.
and to me, it's sort of when I first heard about it, before I looked at your program, which then blew my head off. It was like,
Nice.
but it's a phone. I just
Yeah.
press the button and make a video. What do I want to learn from somebody for? But there's a lot more than that, isn't there? There's so much you can do with it.
Absolutely. That's a very good point, because when people think about it, they think, it's just a simple thing and they just turn it on and hit the button. But in fact, what's amazing about, and here's mine here too, woohoo, what's amazing about the iPhone is various things. For example, the fact that a lot of people don't realize that they can actually use microphones with it. The little socket that's at the end here, which you use for your headphone, is a sort of two-way socket. So when you buy your iPhone, you get like a headset like this, and it's got a headphone, and it's got a little microphone here for voice calls,
Yeah.
which kind of shows to you that this socket can take microphones in as well. So when you start realizing that, and you realize that now you're talking about sound and about how to get good audio, audio is crucial for good video. You start then talking about, well, which microphones do I buy, and how to use a wireless microphone. There's that side of it. There's also the fact that with the iPhone, there's much more controls on it than with a pocket camera, because what they allow you to do is, for example, choose focus point, change exposure, change the white balance of your shot, whether it's going to be too yellow or too green, and trying to adjust that. And that is all down to partly the fact that there's lots of people creating very, very cool apps for the iPhone, which are giving people much more control. So they're essentially turning a phone like this into quite a versatile camera. And so I suppose I'm exploring the versatility of the phone, as well as what to use it for as well, as well as what kind of content to use it for, and how to use it.
Yeah, and I think that when you said apps and everything, apps are massive at the moment, aren't they? But you talk, when you talk, because I don't use my iPhone at the moment for video. I do most of my videos from home, but you're talking about, you can change the lighting and everything. It sounds like you've got a mini studio there, and it's all
Yes,
in your pocket.
No, you can actually use the iPhone as your camera for your own little studio. And I've got people on my training course who are doing just that. Because I'm very much in favor of this idea of the kind of lean entrepreneur, right? So when you're starting up, you want to be able to experiment and test things before you maybe down the road start to invest in a lot of money, because you're spreading yourself thin. You want to create your website, and you want to maybe test out some advertising or get some logos, and there's a lot of things going on. So I think I love the fact that people can get started right away, and you can, without spending too much, sort of turn this camera into quite a versatile camera. I'll give you one example right now. One example is this. I've got lots of little gadgets here on my table to show you. This is a wide angle lens, which all it does is it clips onto your iPhone like this, onto the corner of it. I'll show you that up there.
Wow.
Right. And so, because with pocket cameras in general, the lenses are quite narrow. So if you're trying to record like in a conference, you want to show a nice big wide shot of all your fans in front of you, or if you're filming, people in my training of, for example, real estate agents, they want to film interiors of buildings or houses. So, having a lens that shoots wide is handy. And you get that when you buy a camcorder or a higher end camera, you get a lens that you can, use it very wide if you want.
Yeah.
So this is quite a low cost item that you basically clip onto your phone. That would be one thing. And then as soon as you start, well, here's a little ninja magical thing. This is a accessory, which doesn't look that impressive. Right?
No. What is it?
No, it's not really going to turn too many heads. But this thing plugs into your phone, and then, as I just mentioned, you can start using microphones. So how about this one? This is a little Bluetooth microphone, which you can pick up on Amazon here. It's in two parts. So one part is the microphone, of course, and that is the microphone here. Now, that clip onto you like that, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and then I've got my
And
I've
you
got myself in
don't
a
you
bit of
don't
tangle
tie it
with,
up in all the wires.
yeah. So anyway, this is all going really well. So no, there's the microphone here, right? Now that sends back the signal wirelessly via Bluetooth to the receiver, which you will have plugged into your iPhone, right? So it's a wireless microphone. That means that you can be standing far away. So you could be up on stage at your next seminar and get your mate to be on your with your iPhone on a tripod and film your seminar, and whatever you talk about will be sent right back to your iPhone, with none of these dangly cables like in the way, so to speak. So, and also, you know who else uses these is a lot of people I know are like into like fitness trainers, yoga teachers, and whatnot. They can't do all their actions with I won't demonstrate, but they can't do their yoga with a cable between them and the camera, right?
No.
So things like this really open up the possibility of using the phone in a creative way.
That's brilliant. And I mean, those accessories, obviously, what I'm going to do is under the video, I know that you tell people in your program about all of the different accessories, but we're also going to put some links under this interview so that people can actually take a bigger look at that. 'Cause I love what you've just showed, that clip on mic.
Yes.
I could do with one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and you just said there about people, using it. Estate agents can use it. Fitness people, they can create products from using that. Because I think some people are a little bit limited. They don't really get the power of video. And it's like if you're out, I've got a bigger video camera, but it's like carrying a brick around with me, even though it's quite a small one. The ZI-8 is great, but if you've already got one of these and then you've got a ZI-8 with you, and especially if you're a woman, your handbag gets full pretty quick. And it's,
Yeah.
and a bloke, your pockets get full. So it's really great that you can just carry one thing around and shoot at any time. And I know in your program you go through all the different things and you actually show people different. Can you hear these dogs in the background?
Yes.
They're normally really quiet, but they're just playing away down there. And it's
Nice.
they're having a bit of a game. I do apologise for the noise to everybody. And it's so I know that you show lots of different scenarios.
Yeah, well, what I did with my training course, and it's the kind of thing that you could use for your own products, is not just to make it too much of me all the time on the camera or just too much PowerPoint stuff, because I figured, well, my background is TV, as you said, and particularly reality TV. And I think what people love about that is getting into other people's lives and seeing behind the scenes and meeting people. So in my course, I actually take my camera, my equipment, and go to people's houses. And you see a few examples where I'm actually filming entrepreneurs, and you see the real situations that they face, as opposed to it being me in my room saying, this is what you do. So I think people really like that. And, I think that you could, whatever niche you're in, you could use your camera to actually create, go out and actually meet people that are relevant to your audience and talk to them on locations and show different scenarios. So, but in terms of the portability, you're absolutely right, because, personally, I like to travel really light, and I go to some meetups down in London. Sometimes I get on the underground. I don't want to bring big cameras and bags and all kinds of more professional size gear, which I do own. That would be a problem for me. And also, it's being more inconspicuous. People get very relaxed when you bring out your iPhone. They're much more relaxed. On one extreme, when I've done TV shows and I've had a camera crew and a sound recordist and an assistant, people start shaking, with that. Because it's passing out, because it's such a big deal. But when you're trying to get these really nice, relaxed conversations, and particularly if you're doing, like, for example, testimonials, and people just really feel like they're talking to you, this doesn't become such a barrier between you. And also things like you don't get arrested so much. I mean, I'm joking here, but
You've been arrested?
I haven't actually been arrested in my media career. Probably a couple of times, but not for anything bad, just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the point being that these days, for example, like if you're in a hotel foyer, right, and you're there and you've got this amazing godfather of your industry, and if you start bringing out any kind of big size camcorder with a microphone and you've got headphones, what will happen is you'll get the security guys will come and, say, if you've got permission, let's see your permission, particularly in America or whatever, where's your certification and all that sort of stuff. And, you get yourself a bit of bother. Whereas if you're just filming with the iPhone, people just think that you're just doing some holiday photos or whatever. Now, I'm not saying go out and try and break the law and start filming at Heathrow Airport, when you're at the customs desk or whatnot, because you will get arrested. But what I am saying is you can use this in places that you would have issues with, normally.
Yeah, exactly.
Disclaimer: do not get arrested.
Big disclaimer:
after
do not
this.
go and do things that you should not be doing. Don't film where you shouldn't be filming.
Yeah.
We take no responsibility. Do not do this at home.
Yeah, no. I mean, my arrest thing was I was in Zambia in Africa, and I was taking some video of somebody innocently, really, but in the background was this field, and I just thought it wasn't particularly impressive, right? But it turned out it was an airfield, an airstrip, and it's against the law to film anything to do with airfields. So that plus a couple of other things that added up. They suddenly, because there was a foreigner, wandering around, with a video camera, it did end up me being arrested. I was for about 6 hours questioned about what I was up to, and was I they thought I was a spy from South Africa. I mean, that's what happened to you generally if you're filming. So.
Oh dear. So just sort of, I know that there's some people, and I know for me as well, I tend to, if I'm at home and I'm using I use my flip cam still, well, my ZI-8. But one of the biggest problems is the fact that you can't see what you're filming. I have a mirror, so I can actually, behind my camera, there's a mirror on the wall if I'm using it at home, so I can actually see. And I've sort of spent a lot of time working out where I have to hold it if I'm walking down the street, or where it needs to be so that I'm in the view. Have you got any tips on that? Just excuse me one sec. These two they're normally very, very quiet. Now stop it, you two. Yeah, let me just give them a biscuit.
Give them a scoop snack.
They're usually so quiet when I'm interviewing. Yeah. Now quieten down. Sorry about that.
No problem. Yes, that's not having a flip screen. Yeah, of course, that is one of the drawbacks of the pocket cameras. But there's a couple of things here. One is you mentioned the mirror. Now, if you're in a sort of vlogging situation, or you're in your home studio, you can basically get yourself a hand mirror, and with a very cheap stand, you can pick up a lighting stand or a stand on Amazon for a few pounds. You could actually literally tape it and angle it just at the right angle behind your iPhone or whatever you're using, so you can if I can sort of demonstrate that, you can see yourself in the screen from wherever you're sitting. So basically you can have a portable mirror. That's one way. Not great if you're filming in the street, walking down the street and holding a stand with a mirror. It doesn't look too good. So that's an issue. Yeah, it's a better practice to figure out the angle. Using the wide angle lens, though, helps you a lot, because that makes your margin of error much bigger, because with the wide angle, you're capturing much more of the scene. So it's much less likely that you're going to crop your head off. But here's a really cool little secret just for you, Carol, and the how-to girl, is an app that is called reflectionapp.com, and I guess you can link to it below, reflectionapp.com. And what that does, it's crazy, but it sends the whole image from what you're shooting via wirelessly to your screen. So whether you've got a PC or a laptop or a Mac, it will send the whole image of what you're shooting and basically put it on your computer monitor. So that means that if you've got a computer monitor in the room, you could angle it so that you can see yourself filming on your iPhone. You can see that on a big monitor in the corner of your room. Or if you've got a laptop, you could just put the laptop just down by your knees here, and not to glance down, but just to check that when you do sit down that you're not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. which is, and you know, because
Or out of the screen.
exactly, and that you haven't got, you know, some awful eyebrow sticking up or something, or eyelash or whatever it is. So absolutely, because it's nothing more disheartening than filming. You know, you do all these various versions of what you're trying to say, and you get the perfect one, and you play it back, and you've gone and, you know, chop your head off. So again, this is a low-cost app. You install it onto your actual desktop machine, and it's pretty cool. You know, again, very good if you're in a fixed location.
That's cool. What would you say to people? I see a lot of people who hold their camera the wrong way, whichever way it is, and then afterwards, when they've got their video up, it's like this narrow video with all these black borders around them.
You're screwed. That's what I'd say to them. Vertical videos, you can try and sort of go into your edit software and enlarge them, you know, blow them up, but you lose a lot of quality. You could try and make it creative. You could get that little strip of video and put a nice colory, flowery background behind it or something and make a joke of it. But yeah, that's not a lot to be helped with that, really. That's a mistake. People, they try and, because they're used to maybe taking photos, they shoot it like that way around. Yeah, no, you've got to learn to shoot it that way around with the lens up there on the top here. Top, I'm looking this way, so it's my top left. Yeah, that's just experience.
Your top left. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, and always use the rear
top
facing
right.
camera. Yes, on the iPhone, with the iPhone 4S and 4, is that the rear facing camera is the high resolution. On the 4S, it's a 1080p camera, which is top notch, high definition digital video. This camera, the front facing is VGA quality. It's lower quality. So if you are shooting yourself, definitely recommend that you use the rear facing camera here. Even though it's tempting to use the front facing because you can see yourself, you will lose a lot of quality through that.
And I think that's really important because obviously videos, you know, it's like when I'm doing these interviews, when I'm doing my videos, my Ask Carol videos, or my hints and tips videos, I'm usually sat at home using my webcam. And I don't have a professional studio. You know, I don't need a professional studio. And a lot of people like the fact that I'm a normal person and, you know, I haven't spent millions on all this equipment and studio stuff. But it is important that what you're using, that you use it the best way, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's because I think that in general, quality is going up across the web. And because, you know, video is no longer such a new thing that it used to be. And if you look at like YouTube and see what they're doing with their channels and how they're signing deals with these YouTubers who are doing really well and creating little mini channels for them. And those guys all got their breaks because they were showing YouTube that they could consistently create quality content. And believe me, if you go and look at some of those top YouTubers, some of the quality that they're getting is incredible. They're not professional videographers. Often they're like girls, you know, doing their makeup, you know, showing you makeup tutorials. But my God, their videos are superb. And they've, you know, if you look back at their first videos, they weren't very good. As you follow them over a year or two, you'll see how their videos are really improved. And I think in general, there is a definite push towards quality. I do agree with you, being authentic and being in your house like you are now, and you've got little elements of your life, you know, that are telling little stories, you know, family photos or whatever. That's all really good. But then some points, quality is really important. And video is such a different, there's so many different types of video, right? So obviously if you're doing video on Facebook, for example, you know, that more natural approach works fantastically, you know. And if you're, for example, even if you're just on holiday, you can still create a nice video showing, you know, your lifestyle. If you had a great year and you're sat on a sunbed, right, on holiday, recording a video about how, you know, your business has taken off and how it's given you a great lifestyle, that's such a fabulous natural video to do and to share on Facebook, because people will want to, you know, they want to find out, where are you, what's the weather like, you know. Immediately you've got this conversational thing going. And, you know, again, this phone that you're going to take with you on holiday, guaranteed, right? Otherwise you're going to be stuck. This is your tool here. On the other hand, other videos, for example, you might be doing an online product, an info product, where, you know, if you look at the some of the gurus now, the quality of their videos are really going up, because when somebody hits your page and you're asking them to buy into you and give you their email, and you're going to teach them stuff, then people are much more looking for, is this going to be a quality product? And if your video is really poor, that's like having a really bad wrapper on the if you go to the supermarket and see a terrible wrapper around some beautiful food, um, you're not gonna buy it, right? And this wrapping is quite important. So again, that's where I do help people with, because they don't quite know how to get to that point, and where to put the lights, and how to control this camera to give you that quality. And it's hard to imagine, but you can get out of this camera as equal quality to some really £2,000 cameras. In terms of the actual resolution, is very similar. If you invest in some economical lights, think about what you're doing, you can really get incredible results.
Which I think is so important, because it's not that long ago that everybody was teaching you, you've got to get your lighting, you've got to get your tripod, you've got to get this camera and your microphone. There was a big thing. If you want to do video, you've got to spend several hundred, if not thousands of pounds. Whereas now, people, most people have their phones on a contract. If they have an iPhone, it will be on contract. They don't go out and buy the iPhone very often. It's on contract, so you're paying your monthly phone bill, and you've got this amazing piece of equipment.
Exactly. You've got more margin, because if you're looking at doing a list and buying a camcorder, and with camcorders, a lot of those, just to warn you, are not particularly great for video, because they don't have this microphone input. So if you go into a big tech store wherever you live in the world, whether it's in the UK, it would be like a PC World or somewhere like that. That's in the US as well. You'll see rows of these camcorders, and I went there the other day, and there was about 30 of them, and not one of them had a microphone socket,
Yeah.
because they're made for the family market, who are not going to start bringing microphones and attaching wireless microphones to their baby and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
They're not into that. So when you start looking at above that, you're into the sort of £500-600 bracket perhaps, or people go for DSLRs, which are again a bit more. So then you've got to think, right, that's the camera. Then you've got to add the microphones, the tripod, the light, maybe get a backdrop. So it all starts adding up. Whereas with doing this, this way, you've got the base unit, you've got the expensive item, which is the camera. And then if you're discerning and choose the right stuff, which I talk about a lot, you can really build yourself up a little kit in stages for not too much money. I mean, compared to like even 5-10 years ago, the prices of, like when I started out in video, you wouldn't go for lights less than about £5,000 just for the lights, right?
Yeah.
Really, to get proper lights, you wouldn't even consider anything less. So it's part of the internet and the whole of the e-commerce thing, and Amazon getting involved, and it's just the prices have come down. So never been a better opportunity, really.
That's right. And what about people, and I know iPhone, a lot of people have iPhones, but I know also in your program that you have, even if people didn't actually have the iPhone, it's not just about how to press the buttons on the iPhone, is it, that you help people? You also help them, like you were just saying, with lighting, how to position yourself. So there's a lot of transferable things there that you teach as well.
Yes, I mean, there's two things here. I cover the iPhone. Also, we haven't mentioned the iPad as well, because the iPad 2 and the new iPad, they both have good cameras. In fact, the iPad 3 has got the same camera resolution as the iPhone 4S, so it's got the same camera. So if you've got an iPad but you don't own an iPhone, then I've just added some training in about the iPad. It shoots great. You've got a big screen, a big monitor. In fact, I've got my iPad. Oh, I did have it. Yeah, someone starts stolen it. No. Oh, this will make you laugh, right? Well, hopefully not. This is my iPad, all decked out.
Wow.
This is an iPad with a case that I've got that takes a tripod socket at the bottom, and it's got a couple of little mounts here. So I've got a light up here, which is great if you're in lower light environments. You can also plug a microphone and have it sort of something like this if you wanted to go that far. Have something like that. So you turn it into like this
Wow.
movie machine. And the great thing is, of course, having the big screen here means that you can really see all the details. So you can really check your makeup. close up. You can, if you're filming, I've got some people who are filming like crafts and artwork. You know, their video marketing with their craft and art. They can really see their whatever they're filming in detail to make sure it all looks great. So, and also you can edit. There are apps, quite good apps for editing on the iPad as well. So you've got this shooting, editing machine. So I cover that. And the Android, of course, I do have people on my training who've got Androids. They don't have iPhones.
I was just
And
going to ask about the
yeah,
Androids.
it's you know, I it was my marketing decision to target the I crowd. You know, that was sort of thing that I wanted to do. But I had people who were saying, yeah, we want to test it out. Is it going to work for us? And I had some emails from people saying, I wanted to buy your course anyway. I don't care, you know, that you didn't call it Android Academy or whatever. um, and I want to do it. And I've gained loads out of your training course because when I actually came to look at the apps, many of the apps are made first for the iPhone, then they get made for the Android, which is a huge market. There are people making accessories for the Android. As you said, the lighting principles. I talk about customer testimonials and what questions to ask your customers, and all those kind of content issues that you might face, completely cross-compatible. So there's definitely, you know, people with Androids should go out and shoot video. Yeah, if you've got a Samsung Galaxy or whatever it is, you've got a great video camera as well. You can use microphones with it. You can go on the App Store and check out the apps. Many of the things will work for you. So don't, you know, what I want to do is I want people to go out and make videos and not make that mistake of, oh, I can't make videos till I get this particular
Yeah.
latest, you know, model 3.4, whatever it is. You know, don't wait. Whatever you've got, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, and that is really important because quite often
Yeah, I like pulling off, but you know, it does work.
quite often you do get people that go, oh, I can't afford it, oh, I don't have this, oh, I don't have that, you know. And it really is about just get out there and just start. I can remember that when I started, I mean, mine was with my handheld camcorder, which was, it's not that big, but it's a lot bigger than an iPhone. And I'd carry it around. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And like you said, one of the big factors was it doesn't have a built-in mic. You can't plug a mic into it. So I'd end up shouting at the camera to make sure I could get heard.
Yeah.
But I went out and I did the videos. Then I got my ZI-8 and I even put it into my mobile phone holder in my car. And I was videoing whilst I was driving. And I'd sort of worked out how to set it up. But I wasn't looking at the camera.
Yeah, of course.
Because I did get a couple of messages, people going, what you're doing is illegal. And it's like, no, because I'm not holding it. I'm chatting to myself as I'm driving my car. You know, and it some of those were awful. But it was like, it's getting over that fear, I think, for some people. And I get a lot of people that go, oh, I don't want to be in front of the camera, you know, oh, my hair's not right, or I'm not very photogenic or anything. And for me, one of the biggest things is it's not about being photogenic. It's about getting a message over there, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's not, I think, you know, you got to play up to your strengths. So, and you don't have to be constantly on the camera as well. You know, there's a bit of a trend going on now for this kind of hybrid video, which I quite like, where you appear on camera maybe at the beginning and the end, but then you perhaps go into a PowerPoint or a whatever you're using to Keynote to create some content. So you don't have to think, all right, you've got to be on screen constantly. You can establish who you are in a bit of a presence. You know, 30 seconds at the top, go into your PowerPoint, come out at the end of it. So don't think you have to be constantly on camera. And also another thing you can do is actually, if you're really scared of being on camera but you still want to shoot video, you can be the voice behind the camera. Like if you notice a lot of interviews, news interviews, you don't see often the presenter, you hear the voice asking the questions behind. So you could be this voice that's questioning people. You know, I do recommend that people that do interviews, if you go to any meetups or conferences, try and pick out some people in your niche and do some interviews and just be that voice behind the camera and let the other person suffer on the camera. So there are ways and means of improvising. And also, you know, you can find if you're really scared of it, find other people that are going to help you. Like I've got one video where I actually use my children in it. Now some people don't want to do that. I'm okay with that. But I made a little video where I asked them about social media just as an idea I had was because I remember that show, Kids Say the Funniest Things,
Yeah.
right? Which is it's pretty much a global kind of show where you ask kids and they come up with some ridiculous answers and everybody laughs. Um, nice show that. So I asked my kids about, what's Facebook, and he said to me, "That's your website, isn't it?" And and what's Mashable, and he said, mashed potatoes. It was just little things like that. So he's great on camera. So I did that as an experiment, and I noticed I got quite a few likes, and so it's almost kind of improvising around what you've got and thinking about, what could you feature, get your dogs on camera as well. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, mine often join us. They've gone quiet now, thank goodness. Because I think it's also a lot of people, they watch some of the professional videos out there and it's like, oh, I can't do all of that stuff. And then there's also some people that I talk to who say, but what do I need video for? I'm not a video person. But you've touched on quite a few things there. And it's about engaging if you have a website that is static, that just has a load of writing on it, it can get pretty boring for people. It doesn't mean you have to do everything with video, but by having video introduced really makes a difference, doesn't it, to your audience?
Oh, absolutely. There's lots of stats out there about how having a video on your homepage will keep people on your site longer. People will spend longer if you've got a video. People have analyzed that, and so that's your aim, isn't it? People land on your page and they're making their mind up in those first 7 or 8 seconds, and if they see a video, they just have this tendency to click on it. And if you can get them engaged in that for 60 seconds and tell them to do something afterwards, a call to action, if you've got some free product or gift or ebook or whatever, then again, just getting people to engage with you and staying longer, and then going out and clicking around your site and using video at different stages within your site. So having your opt-in video. I've noticed the trend now, people are making their about me as a video.
Yeah.
Their about me page, again, because people are really interested in people, right? And again, with the portable pocket cameras, iPhones, is just things that you might capture, you might not think are relevant, but just try and build up your own archive of footage. So if you do go on holiday, hopefully you will, shoot some footage of you chilling out on holiday or going bungee jumping or whatever you do, Carol.
Not bungee jumping.
Whatever you do, build up this archive. Who are you? Yeah, who are you? If you're speaking at a conference, get your phone with somebody in the audience to film you up on stage, right?
Yeah.
Speaking. Film your business. Film, do a sort of exterior shot of your business. If you see a beautiful sunset or something, it's a beautiful shot, capture it, build up an archive so that when you come to, like, for example, making an about me video, you can literally just talk about who you are and what you do, and then you've got all these shots already in your hard drive, add them into it. So that's another kind of video. There's also, frequently asked questions. If you keep getting asked the same questions over and over, if you want to leverage your time better and maybe reduce the amount of emails you're getting, especially bigger companies are using the video frequently asked question to really address those concerns. So there's so many different layers that you can use video to sort of engage people.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's opening. It's like you said, people like people. And I'm finding a lot more that you go onto a website or even on Facebook or anywhere else, logos are no longer, a logo is a logo. But if people see your face, they know what it's like we're talking now. People can get a great idea of whether they actually like the personality, because it's not just about, well, that's what they look like, but we were a lot more, I think now we're actually going backwards and using modern technology to get back to that face-to-face, that person-to-person interaction, and people really like that they've got that rapport, that they can get in touch. It's like when you were on TV, if I wanted to talk to someone on the TV, it's an impossibility. But on social media and I can reach out to so many people, and by talking to them on a video, even if it's just a 30-second video, hi, I'm Carol, I would love to get in touch with you, can I have your number? But they get a lot more from you, don't they, with the video?
Absolutely. I can't remember who said it, but they said no one wants to go for a coffee with a logo. I think it might have been I think I might have heard it on David Simon Garland, who you and I both know. I think I might have
Yeah.
heard him say it. I'm not very good at remembering who says this cool stuff, but it was nobody wants to go for coffee with a logo, which is quite true, right?
Yeah.
So it
I
wouldn't
might
be.
try that.
No, it'd be a bit boring, like a logo stuck on your table. So no, not good. I think definitely people connection works a treat, and also try and try and think about what excites you about your business and how you could feature that. So, we're talking about talking head stuff, which is great. Also, I'm a great advocate of trying to film action, right? Because again, I've done kind of reality type shows, documentary, docu-soap, whatever. And part of their attraction is you see real things happening.
Yeah.
And if you've got a business, you might think that it's not boring, but I do say to people, it's not bad to sometimes watch a bit of TV because you can actually learn from TV. A lot of people think TV's dead, finished, we're in the new age, never watch it, right? But actually, a lot of video is drawing its influence from TV, and the fact that if you look at TV, how it approaches subjects, if you watch like The Apprentice and see how that covers business and how that makes selling exciting. And how does it do it? It does it using visuals. So they don't try and just do selling something on the internet or just doing, stock market trading. They're always selling like sausages in a market somewhere, right? It's like
Yeah.
visual. So they're looking for visual things. They also use a lot of pace and change of pace and music to make it an entertaining experience. So as an example, there's a lady I know who runs a company called Babaco. I don't know her. I've seen her. She runs a company called Babaco, which sells baby products, and she also designs products for babies. And what she does is she films the delivery of new items to her e-commerce
I
store.
thought for a minute there you were going to say she filmed the delivery of
Of
babies.
babies, that would be great. Well, if you're a freelance midwife, then the if they exist, I don't know. But what she does is she films the van rolling up at her building, and she films the guy getting out of the back, opening up the van, handing her the box. And in one of the videos, she happened to have designed something. So she had a lot invested in what was in the box, right? The box arrives. She gets her staff to film her, right? So a quick bit of training. Here's my phone, film me. Gets the box, goes into the office, opens it up, takes out the object, and gets really excited about it. Genuinely excited about. Look at this cool thing. Look what it can do. And there's a great bit of content that she
Yeah.
can use on her blog. And also, quite interestingly, she was sort of introducing that new product to her audience. And then what she did later on was say, if you really want to find out much more about this product, join me for a live video conferencing. She used one of the free services like Ustream or Livestream, and to
Mm-hmm.
have her own little almost mini shopping channel where she would then go through the item in much more detail live and do a special offer to people. So buy it now and get this discount. So she used the first video as a sort of tease into a live video and then to
Mm-hmm.
sell. So again, I think a lot of people, they might think that what they're doing is not that interesting, but try and step out of it and find out what are these moments where you get excited. I've seen it also done with launches where somebody's launching something and they've not just launched it, they filmed the launch from behind the scenes.
Uh-huh.
And so you see them going, yeah, fantastic, new customer from Alaska or whatever. And you see what I mean? And there's another bit of content that you've created from another bit of content. So you're sort of leveraging what you're doing and creating different layers.
Yeah, it is about being creative and looking outside. So many people think, well, what I do is there's nothing interesting in it. But there are so many things that you can actually do that are really interesting stuff for other people. And I think that was really useful when you said there, think about what other people, because you might not think it's interesting, and it's like that example you gave. Somebody gets a package out of a box and is all excited, and it's like, well, I don't know who wants to see, but a lot of people do want to see those very simple things. So I
Yeah.
think that's you've shared so much, and obviously I know in your program, and I know that David Siteman Garland, who I've already interviewed, I know that he is absolutely raving about your program, because I was having a look at the testimonials, and it's like, if David loves it, it has to be even better than if I love it.
And you'll be out. I'll bump you up.
Yeah, you got to get me up the top.
No, no, no. I mean, I was flattered that he loved it. So yeah, I know I've put a lot into this because, again, I find what I really love is creating content because that's what as a media professional, whether you're in TV or journalism or you're a professional at content. So I love all that bit, and I love inspiring people through content. And people have come through it as well. Have also said I can use those ideas of delivering content for my own product as well, which I'm really happy about because I want people to be able to shoot video and leverage it and hopefully put it into what they do as well.
Yeah, exactly. So if people want to find out more about your program, obviously links are going to be under the video. And when I looked at it recently, it's still a silly price.
Yes.
$97. And it's like, what?
I know. Well, hopefully when you're watching this, it will still be. So who knows? Yes, I know. It's crazy. It's excellent. It's amazing value. I think, again, for me, I wanted them to basically reach as many people as I could. I wanted to make it an easy investment for them. And, there's a lot of products at all kinds of price points. And I just felt I want to get people started and right into it straight away and just do it at that price. And I've had literally hundreds of people go through it. A total range. I've got accountants. I've got a cowboy in it. No, he's not a cowboy. He's he wears a cowboy hat, but he trains horses. He makes horse training videos in America. That's amazing for me that you pick people from all around the world that are using video like that. I've got fitness instructors and bodybuilders who want to use video to show off their muscles or whatever. I've got them in it. It's amazing how the internet, when you start producing content and you start creating this buzz, how you get people from across the globe, and you really do get such a lot when you feel like you're really helping people to basically help them with their business and grow their business.
Yeah, and
which is what you do.
It is. It's what I do. That's what I'm so passionate about doing, and that's why I want to find all these great people around the world to come and tell me about what they do, so that we can help even more people. So, and it's been, if you could give people one tip or one bit of advice about using video, can you think of something that would be like, that would be my top tip?
Okay, my top tip would be to set yourself a date. When are you going to make your next video? That would be it, because so many people don't commit to it. So if you've got a whiteboard, which I have right here, or just commit to making a video and just set yourself a time that you're going to create a video, and give yourself a couple of days to work out what is it you're trying to do with your video and what result you want from it. Not just a aimless random video like here I am testing out my camera kind of video, but something that's got a clear point that you want to achieve at the end of it, and set yourself a time and date and do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. That is great advice. And hopefully we're going to get you back again soon, because talking to you, I can also tell that you have an awful lot of skills and knowledge in the product creation. You've created your own product, but also in sort of the marketing and the other side of things as well. So maybe you'll come back and do another show on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. So thank you so much. It's been fun because we've had dogs and we've had bits of wire falling out and everything. Yes. So we've been creating entertainment, just like on telly.
To go viral, I can tell it now.
So it's been really great, and I will talk to you soon.